Hey, what's up? My name's Justin. Welcome to 65 Drums. Today I'm doing a review of UFO Drums Stardust. And this is the 15th time I've tried to say that right. I don't know why I'm tripping over my words today. So this is the only kind of mesh head cleaner, like marketed mesh head cleaner I've ever seen from any electronic drum company. Most of the time when people want to clean their mesh heads, they put them in the dishwasher, not kidding, or maybe they clean them by hand with some sort of cleaner. Mesh heads, they last a long time compared to acoustic drum heads. Sometimes they just end up looking really dirty because you might end up playing a mesh head for 2, 3, 4, 5 years straight depending on how often you play, and they can get stick marks on them, especially if you use colored drumsticks. Like I have some what do you call it, a reddish brown set of drumsticks, or at least I did before I broke them, and they really mark up drum heads a lot, and it looks terrible. And then of course, when you hit the rim of your electronic drums, sometimes you get little particles of that rubber, and then that can transfer over to the mesh heads again. So what I decided to do was find the dirtiest mesh head I had in the house. And so it ended up being this one. Now I realized it might not be incredibly dirty, but that doesn't really matter. We're just trying to figure out if this stuff works or not. I've already taken before photos so I can see exactly how it looks like before and after I clean it with this stuff right here. So when you take a look at the website, it says that it removes discoloring and most stains up to 90%. Now, of course, you might be wondering what exactly is this white powder? And I don't know, it could be drugs or who knows what it could be. Just by looking at it though, and I'm not gonna taste it or anything, but I'm going to guess it's a mixture of a couple of things, obviously. But I'm gonna guess one of the ingredients is like some sort of like powder cleaner that you would get in a dishwasher or to wash your clothes, because I see like there's white powder and then little specks of blue stuff in this powder, and then who knows what else is mixed in, because it is a combination of different things. And this whole thing costs about $5. Yeah, you can see that it's a salt shaker. I find that kind of funny. It's actually just about the perfect size. This is 2 ounces. You're supposed to put your mesh heads in hot water and just dump this entire container in. It dissolves. You wait for 15 minutes. You scrub it with a brush after that, and then you let it dry, and then hopefully it will have removed about 90% of the stains on your mesh head and give them that really bright white look again. So that is the hope. We're gonna see if this works. You're supposed to use the entire container, so I won't be able to try this twice. Now, of course, if this product works incredibly well, I'll probably feel like one of those guys on the infomercials that you see all the time.
Look at the incredible cleaning power of this UFO Drums Stardust. It destroys stains.
The last time I did a video where I was trying to soak a mesh head in water, I used a 16-inch floor tom mesh head, and that was a terrible idea because I had to figure out a way to get enough water to like soak it, and I basically had to find a giant object. I think I ended up using a plastic bag like this, so I just wrapped this 16-inch mesh head in a plastic bag and then put it in a sink. The reason why I made that video in the first place was I was trying to see if I could turn a white mesh head black. If you want to see what happened in that video, I'll link it up there on the screen somewhere. Now, I can't believe I didn't think of this before, but probably the best container to put mesh heads in if you want to soak them in dye or if you want to clean them is probably one of these like Rubbermaid containers that you put clothes and old books inside of. This is like the perfect size for most mesh heads on most people's drum sets. So if you're looking for something, a big container, this is probably something that will work for you. Okay, so I got to remove the mesh head, and then we'll see how well this works. Okay, so it turns out that mesh heads take a very long time to dry, so I just left it out here overnight, and this is what the mesh head looks like now that it is clean. And I'm going to switch over to some before and after photos so you can actually see a little bit clearer, but it does work. It does make your mesh head more white, it gets rid of all the stick marks, and it does work very well. It's not perfect, and the box never said it would be perfect. It said it would remove about 90% of the markings. And I would have to say that's pretty accurate. It does work though. I can't say how much better Stardust from UFO Drums works versus other standard cleaners you could buy from Walmart or Lowe's. But if you're going to buy a trigger from them already and you want to clean your mesh heads, this is kind of a no-brainer just to put in your shopping cart. And come to think of it, I could have probably washed several mesh heads inside of that water that right there. I just didn't feel like taking all the time to wash every mesh head I had in the house. I wish I had actually shown you a photo of the water that I dumped out because it was actually pretty dirty. So I was actually surprised about that. Now, one word of caution, if you do decide to buy this stuff, make sure you don't scrub your mesh heads for very long at all. Maybe scrub it for 1 minute and then just stop. Because I noticed that after I scrubbed for like 2 or 3 minutes, the logo started to fade just a little bit. So if you love vibrant logos and you love reading all the patent numbers and everything, you know, go easy on the scrubbing. The mesh head will get clean, don't worry about that. Just don't scrub for too long. Like, it's not a really terrible fading, but there is a little bit of fading that I can see. This one versus another mesh head that I have lying around. And hey, while we're talking about mesh heads, I probably should mention how to clean your electronic cymbals. I'm not going to go in depth because I've already done a specific video about how to clean your cymbals. I'll try to link that down in the description below if I remember to. But this is what I use. It's called 303 Aerospace Protectant. I'm not the first one to discover this. I actually found this on a forum and stuff, and I decided to buy it and see if it works. And this does work very well on your rubber cymbals. It makes them look kind of new again, not 100%, but it does help out a lot. If you live in Europe, there's another product that a lot of electronic drummers use called Dr. Keto or something like that. It's very popular over there. It's really expensive in America to get that stuff, so that's why I don't recommend it if you live here. But Aerospace Protectant, this stuff rocks. Some people just clean their rubber cymbals with just water and sometimes a little bit of soap, and that works too. But this will make your cymbals clean, and it won't make them overly shiny and leave all kinds of oily residue everywhere. So yeah, that's how you can clean your mesh heads and your electronic cymbals. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in a few.